Just turn the music up while people get involved a little bit. Where is it? There it is. So the reactions will come in soon. But hello everybody, my name is Simon Townley. For those who do not know, we have something a little bit different today. We have Toby Dicker, who has come to us from the Save Our Salon campaign. How are you, mate? You alright?
I'm very good, thanks. Thanks so much for inviting me. I'm pleased to be on here. I can't do anything sexy or creative because that's not me, but I'm a very passionate member of the hairdressing community, and I love the industry. So I'm here to talk about something different and hopefully to make you all a bit more money.
Well, this is it, and this is what we love. And anyone who's interested in business, anyone who's interested in VAT, hello Elaine who's just tuning in, hello Rosa. We are here to help, and we've got an amazing campaign ahead of us that we want to talk about. But while I just share to the groups, because that's what I've got to do, it's part of the job, I'll let you all get the comments in. Any questions you have for Toby are welcome. This is the Save Our Salons campaign. Hello Claire, John, Sally, they're all just tuning in now. We've got 50 odd people on already. Let me just share away. Where are we? Oh, they're piling in anyway.
Sally's still on screen. Hello Sally, how you doing?
Oh, they all come in. I'll share them for you so you can read them. Nigel Kenny, he's from Ireland. That's a good point. Does what we're talking about help the Irish?
In Ireland, actually, they already have a system whereby the service industry is taxed for VAT at a lower rate. They've already recognised that the industry is already very heavily taxed. Northern Ireland obviously follow UK rules, but the Southern Irish already have what I term to be a fairer system that has 23% for, I believe, 23% for standard retail and 9% for services. So yeah.
Oh, awesome. Well, Nigel's doing a chat with me tomorrow about business and what he's done in lockdown. We're having a bit of a chat with some business owners around the UK. So that'll be amazing to follow on from this. But yeah, I'll turn the music down a bit. And if you want to introduce yourself, Toby, and where you're from and what we're doing today.
Okay. I've been in the industry 25 years. I've never ever cut hair, but started a business 25 years ago. Maybe a bit longer, no, 25 years ago, and I sort of fallen more and more in love with the industry. I've done different jobs around the time. I used to fly for a living and actually left that to come into hairdressing, and I built a business over a period of time called the Chapel, and I've always been trying to fight for the industry because I don't believe it's taken seriously enough or given enough respect. So for me, that's really a bit about what I do. For me, it's always been about understanding hairdressing and hairdressers, giving them respect they deserve, understanding that, in my opinion, hairdressers are some of the smartest people we've got, but they have a different way of looking at things. And I think, as a general rule, we're looking to simplify and put in a very visual way a lot of the data and a lot of the things that can really, really help salons grow, thrive and survive. And as I say, be respected and taken more seriously, especially by the government, who seem to pay lip service to our industry, despite the fact that we contribute a massive amount of tax income for them. So yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Absolutely, that's a fantastic introduction. So I will start off by... Everybody's tuned in to see what it is. They all know the title. It was on the live. It is the Save Our Salons campaign. You can see there's a website. You can see the hashtags, which is Save Our Salons and Chop the VAT. And yeah, Hair Socials is proud to be sort of flagship and proud to be sort of saying that, yeah, we want to be one of the people that's involved in it and say, how can we help? So what is the actual Chop the VAT? What are we asking from people? What do we want them to do?
Okay. For me, more than anything, if you understand what happened throughout COVID, a similar industry to us was the pub trade.
Yeah.
Except that they are a service-based business, but they're supplying food and beverages and so on. But they were given a 5% or a reduction to 5% on VAT, and also eat out to help out as well. Reducing VAT to 5% means basically they put more money in their pockets. And as far as salon owners are concerned, those who pay VAT are or have and continue to pay a lot more than the rest of the industry. or the rest of the society, and we can't even trade. So the idea is to reduce VAT to 5%, certainly in emergency response to coronavirus, so that for the rest of the year we can trade. What that means is for every £100 you put in the till, or for every £100 you charge customers, as long as you don't reduce your price, you're putting an extra £12 in the till, and each of us needs that. Tell me a salon in the land that hasn't taken on debt, hasn't got further into debt, and hasn't actually been put under so much pressure they might go under. And we just want to fight for what we believe is fair. The industry has a quiet voice, because somehow we don't stand up for ourselves, and somehow we just go, oh, that's just the government, and so on and so on. And all we're trying to do is save our salons, and is a collective who can own the idea that we should be respected. The idea is to get everyone to email their MP and write a letter to their MP, take pictures of it, hashtag it, put it on the thing, and so far, we've had thousands and thousands of people looking at the website, and we just want everyone to take 5 minutes, 10 minutes at a time while they're doing this, and actually do something that might make a massive difference to them personally and to everyone that they employ, and get us taken more seriously. And that's right, their MPs in demand that they listen to us and give us a fair shout. That's all we're asking for.
Yeah, well, we are going to show people exactly how to do it and how simple it is just via your website soon. So stay with us and we'll show you that. Keep sharing, guys. The numbers are growing, which is awesome. Thanks, Claire John. I'll just give Claire John a shout out, because I can't tell you how many times she's tagging people to get involved in this. And the Irish contingents, which is Nigel as well. Thank you very much, guys, for sharing. That is really important. But yeah, so what is it again? Sorry, we're wanting to reduce the VAT to?
Well, the aim is to reduce the VAT to 5% in line with the hospitality industry. And that's what we're aiming for initially. And then we're going to campaign further down the line for a longer term reduction in VAT. But the idea is to get people to go onto the website. And there's 6 very simple things we like you to do. In fact, the first 2 are really, really simple. Find out who your MP is,
Yep.
Get the details, and then download our template letter, amend it to suit your business and what goes on for you, and then send it off. At the end of the day, we want them to sit down in front of you to give you the respect you deserve, to listen to what it's like, and to understand our industry a bit better. Oh, you're just a hairdresser. I've heard that so many times, and I'm deeply offended by it.
Yeah.
Because you're smart people who add a lot to your communities. I mean, without hairdressing salons, there wouldn't be a high street. There is not going to be a high street. We bring thousands, millions of people into town centres every day. We add masses to the community. We pay huge amounts of tax. Make it fair for us. We demand that. Yeah?
What was the statistic again that Sophia shouted? I can't remember it now. We're one of the highest paying VAT contributors in.
Well, what happens is because we add all of the value added tax is designed for if you buy something for tenner and you sell it for 20 quid, you pay the difference in tax on that. But what we do is we get a pair of scissors and we do a tiny bit of shampoo, which we might be able to claim the VAT back on. And then we add all our VAT through labour. And what that means is that we're taxed not only at the maximum amount on VAT, but we're also taxed at the maximum amount on our salaries and employers and employees. So we end up paying at least 1/3 of every pound that comes through the door as a VAT paying salon goes to the government through employment tax, VAT, whatever. And that's the statistic. And actually, that's bloody unfair. And that's all we're saying is tax us fairly. And then we can help rebuild the high streets. We can rebuild our businesses. We can pay the debt off. We can pay the tax we already owe the government. Let's be fair. Lots of us already owe a huge amount of tax that we haven't paid yet. And, it's just about demanding that. And until we raise awareness, until we get respect from MPs and understand our industry, then we're not going to do that. And as a collective voice, one of the things that Save the Salons is probably most proud about is we brought so many people together, so many names, so many industry people, and the support of all of the organisations that are important in our industry and all of the PR and press within our industry. And that's something that we can all get behind. For once, there's something that we can all get behind and try and sort of push for, so it balances the playing field.
Nicholas O makes a good one. She says, how many times do you hear you're just a hairdresser? Question mark. I'm so glad that you're speaking up for us. I am asking people that are watching, how would this contribute to your business? Would this help your business if we had a VAT reduction? How important is it? Is it a survival thing? Is it a case of profits? We want to hear off you, because it's this is what it's all about. And honestly, people are tagging a lot of people in this, which is more than we usually have. So it's a massively on-trend topic, and it's important to the people. We can see that. How many salons have closed already because of this? Have we got a figure?
We've been given some figures around sort of, there's about 49,000 hair and beauty salons in the country, and we've been given some figures around 4,500, so maybe 10% have already gone. And I think the thing that a lot of people don't realise, particularly the public don't realise, is that even furlough costs money. We have to pay the employer's national insurance, we have to pay pensions, we have to pay holiday pay, we have to pay all these things. Then we have to pay our rent, then we have to pay this, we pay that. And people are like, they think it's like we've just been put on hold. And I think that's a really important thing. It's important that we fight, even harder for the industry.
Yeah, I'll just read out a couple of comments before we go to showing people how simple it is and ask further.
Hello, Kim. How are you?
This is absolutely. It's all right. You get involved, mate. This is absolutely survival of the whole industry. Thank you, Toby. Where was the other one? Sorry, they're coming in that fast. I'm losing it. The attitude has definitely changed about professionals since the virus surfaced, and I think that the general public have realised the importance in every aspect of our game that we offer. Many would argue we are essential.
Yeah, one of the things I was saying beforehand, exactly agreeing with that, is that the value of what you bring to people's lives has been recognised further. I think most people have reassessed their lives somewhat now, and they think that being looked after, feeling good, having social connection is way more important now. And one of the things that I've noticed always about this industry is how much individuals undervalue themselves. Oh, I've only done a partial today when it was a half head, or whatever it might be. Stand up, be proud, don't discount. Please don't discount. I'll do a whole different session on discounting and why it destroys your business another day. But let's stick together. Let's stick together, because if we all charged what we're worth, we'll all make more money. Even if we have less customers, we'll make more money, because there's so many costs and there's such a tiny amount that salons actually make. And I think that's an interesting and an important thing to realise. And as I say, if we can get this, it's going to transform the industry. It's going to save the industry of that paying salons. At the end of the day, putting an extra 12 quid for every 100 in the till will pay those massive debts off that we've built up.
Yeah, Rosie Briscoe asked a great question there, and obviously I know the answer, but I'll let you lead this one. Does this include the beauty industry, as I work self-employed stylist in a business that is actually a beauty salon?
Yeah, it does absolutely include the beauty industry. The figures we quote are for beauty salons, hair salons, nail bars, anyone that's paying VAT. So that salon, if it's employing a number of people and it's VAT registered, of course it makes a difference. So yeah, it does, and we'd love to have more support from the beauty industry. There are a bunch of assets on the website you can download that have got beauty images in as well. And that's one thing where we'd love more support and we'd love more people get involved. And I think that's happening now. We've been running the campaign for a couple of weeks and it's gone huge. We've had massive support. But the bottom line is, if you've retweeted it or liked it or regrammed it or whatever, that's fantastic. But really, please take 5 minutes to email your MP. If you're an employee, change it up. If you've got somebody who you respect, your salon owner, tell them about it. Because if we get every single MP in this country to have 2 or 3 letters, they're going to be going, hold on a minute, these guys are serious now. And this is being debated right now. There is a budget on March the 3rd that will decide whether your industry survives or whether your business survives. So make a difference right now.
This is great, brilliant. What I will do is I'll quickly show people and we'll go through it, because I have got a lot of people coming in with questions. But before we sort of lose interest on the actual main topic, because I know we will go off on a tangent on this VAT talk, I want to show people how simple your website is and how easy you've made it for people. So there is literally no excuse of I cannot do it or I don't think I can do it.
You keep saying you. It's not me, but
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
representing a group of people. It's fine. It's okay. It's not a problem. It's just that we want everyone to own this. So there we go. So yeah, I mean, it's a really simple site. It's got just some things to talk about there. If you click on the little red button, it takes you straight to how to do these things. There are 6 things on here. Find your MP. You click the link, put your postcode in, you find your MP, get the details, and write them down or copy and paste them. Simple as that. Then go back to the website and then click download the letter, and then you can download the letter there. Best thing to do is go sort of, I think, top left. We can't see it because it's underneath your thing, but it's top left, and you click on file.
Yeah.
And then make a copy or download. You can always email us at admin@Save Our Salons, and we'll send things over to you. And then there's some more detailed answers around VAT and around tax within our industry on the next one, which you can download as well. And then go back to the thing. What does number 4 say?
Email and send a letter, and number 5 is download our fact sheet.
Well, there you go. So email and send the letter, nice and easy. Take a picture, put your Save Our Salons thing on there. We've had hundreds and hundreds on the Instagram site. Not that I understand social media myself, but someone does, which is great. And then the last one, number 6, actually is really important, but nobody does it. Yeah. It's fill in the survey. So you click on the link and survey comes up, and it just says that will keep you informed. It also tells us which MPs have been written to, and then we can campaign and push. It's simple as that. You write 3 things and then away you go. We've had a month off in January. It's time to kick some ass now, and that's what this is all about for me. So that's it. Simple as that. You fill those in, away you go. Any questions, email at the bottom of the website, very bottom. Sorry, go back one more time.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right, no problem.
It's all new to we'd only discussed this before. There you go, email.
I'm just getting used to which way to lean my head. Yeah. I'm getting very sorry, at the bottom you got the website, but there's also download our social assets. Just click on that one at the bottom, and then there are a load of social assets there. So different pictures you can download with different imagery on. Some barbers, some salons, some beauty, some nails, and then repost, and let's get the whole industry behind it. One of the most powerful things about this whole thing so far has been the love that's been shared in this industry. There's no competitiveness about this. This is just for all of us.
This quote here pretty much comes out. We want to empower you, the nation's salon owners, to stand tall. You have the right to stand up and be counted. Your opinion is worthwhile. You are super smart people who should be listened to.
That's there you go. I don't need to say anything else. You've done it.
You're welcome, mate. I'll just read back on some of the comments. But yeah, it's so simple for you guys. I just typed in my town and didn't even put my postcode. And it came in for it. But I'll just go with, sorry if I missed anyone. There are a lot of comments coming in while I was doing that. For an average 5-chair salon, it would save them approximately 2.5 per month. That I presume that
2,500 a month. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. It does show you just how much that can do. That's a brilliant calculation. And I think if you calculate it for yourself, you suddenly go, geez, this would be the best thing we can possibly do.
Yeah, massively. Does you have a figure on how many have actually signed up for this campaign so far?
Well, it's had thousands and thousands and thousands of views online, and on the social channel, on the Instagram, I think we've got like 1,600 or 1,800 people joined up, and we're going to send out another survey to find out, but not many people did part 6, which is why I went back to it and filled it in. But we've definitely had around 400. There are 600 odd MPs in the country, so that's one for each one so far. I would guess we've had over 1,000 responded so far. We want to get to the point where we get to a couple of thousand, and then people will really have to listen. The other great thing is it's not just this that's happening. What happens is that people that we know through the industry, there is something called the All-Party Parliamentary Group, which is a bunch of MPs from different parties coming together on the 24th February. I think they come together, and some of us are invited to join in that. So we're speaking directly to those in Parliament. And as you may have seen on social a couple of weeks ago, that there's a new group called the Personal Services Group, been formed by So we've actually got our own department now in the business. I can't even say it, but it's BEIS. They're the Business Energy Industry Sector, something like that. Anyway, there is a department, and again, there are members that I know who are speaking specifically on our behalf. There are the industry groups that we all know very well that are behind this as well: Hair and Barber Council, NFBF, and the British Beauty Council, and others who are also speaking to them. And I've pushed very hard to be involved in that conversation so that I can put the agenda of our group and the answers that people give me, because realistically we want some real figures on how bad it is. And trust me, it's not just I have been one of those people who wanted to give up, I promise you, and you know, all of us at some point have probably just turned around and gone, nah, I can't do it anymore, because it's been so bloody hard what we've been doing, you know. And I've come out fighting. There are other things that you can do to help your business, but for me, when we reopen, this is the thing that will put more money in our till, give us breathing space, and we'll get us back on our feet. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a great point. And then, like you said, other industries that have had support. We are one of the last ones to open from lockdown one. We're one of the first ones that was considered to close. We wasn't in his own categories. But just tell us how important you think that having our own sector in the government's policies will be for our industry. How important do you think that is?
I think what's happened, I think it's incredibly important. It's incredibly important that we're recognised as a proper industry, you know, as either a creative industry or a proper business in its own right. Because, as I say, patted on the head and said, you're just a hairdresser. I get close to punching people who say that. I probably shouldn't punch politicians, but there you go.
It made some politicians famous.
It's incredibly important that we're taken seriously and respected and given the opportunity to grow. And I think but what's happened in the past is that there's been so much division in the industry. And I think there's an awful lot of groups who are now trying to bring people together. And I think that's really positive. You know, your group, Hair Socials, Salon Owners United, Colette, there are loads and loads of others, but again, I don't get involved in all the social ones, but let's all come together on at least one subject, and then let's move on to the next thing. And that's what we need to do, rather than try and fight each other.
Well, this is all education, and we want to come together. We want to be one of the ones. We spoke about this a few weeks ago now with Alan Howard's got us in touch together. And I remember you brought the date forward. Everybody has dived on it, and I think that's amazing. Like you just said, we have nearly 14,000 members in our group. So I want to ask everybody to share this, because this is education to what it actually means for us. It also shows you how to do it and simplifies it for people that might not understand how to do it. But yes, as many people that could share this as possible will get that message out there faster. Joe Price says you can't punch politicians, Toby.
Very good. Very good.
Leisha, this will help the future generations of hairdressers in years to come. Yeah, we've been discussing this in other shows about where is the next generation of hairdressing coming from, and if there's no salons and there's less salons, then it's going to get even harder to encourage these people.
It's not just that, right? The problem is because if we're not taken seriously as an industry, we don't get educators. So if they don't think we're good at business, educational establishments then don't put people through to hairdressing. They keep them in there. They go, oh, hairdressing, you can do that if you're not very good at everything else. And then they don't see it as a viable career. People earn hundreds of thousands of pounds traveling around the world doing this. I'm not saying everybody. And I know this industry is across the board a relatively low paid thing. Let's push it. Let's realize how good we are. Let's respect ourselves. Let's grow our businesses. Let's not be fearful of paying VAT. Let's all go, do you know what? If VAT was lower, I wouldn't mind paying a bit of that and actually wanting to grow my business and wanting to put my prices up and respecting that so that I can earn what I should do for what I do for people.
Well, you said it earlier in the pre-show, didn't you? That you kind of having a fear of VAT puts a lid on your business, puts a cap on it.
I think that's a big thing. A lot of people saying, oh, well, I don't pay VAT. What's this got to do with me or whatever? What it does, it keeps your business really small. It keeps you with 2 or 3 staff and saying, well, better not put the price up because if I go over above the threshold, I've got to pay 20%. That's crazy. That's crazy. We should all be striving for having the biggest and best business we can, you know, and that's what a big part of it is for me. So if it was fairly taxed across the board, then then we would all be perfectly okay. And actually, the government would probably end up with more money because there would be more businesses growing, charging the right amount. SALONS would earn more, the government would earn more, and everyone would be happy.
Yeah, a lot of people agreeing with you there, mate. Faye Smith, who's a friend of the show, says, I agree with you right there. It holds us back, strive forwards. There's big comments coming in, but while the people writing the comments, because there are a lot coming in, it does annoy me. It's a pet hate of mine as well that we're not taking seriously, because I remember I had this Saturday girl, and she was, you know, when you get them Saturday girls that are so good, you don't have to tell them to do anything, they're just on it, and then they grow up, and then they decide they don't want to be an hairdresser, and they break your heart. And then I remember me trying to convince her, and her mum used to come to the salon, and I tried to get her on side, and it was about the second or third time she said this now, but she said, no, she's going to get a proper job. She don't want to be an hairdresser. To the hairdresser, that's number one. And then number two, it got me to a point where on the third time of me saying this to her, like, oh, come on, let her be an hairdresser. And she said that again. She said, no, she's going to get a proper job. She's going to be a midwife. And I said, right, well, how many millionaire midwives do you know? And she said, none. I said, well, I know a lot of millionaire hairdressers, so don't tell me it's not a proper job. But yeah, there's lots of people commenting on here now. Let me read these. I'm not a fastest at reading. Yeah, years of training to deliver such an important service that truly makes a difference to people. Brings people to our high streets. Enjoys so many women in flexible working patterns. Yes, good. That's a good point. That I never thought of that.
Yeah, very, very much so. We're 88%, 88% women according to the Hair and Barber Council's stats. So
I never thought of the.
But then working around being mums as well.
Yeah, never thought about it that way.
Usually respected.
What was that one? Sorry. The easiest thing in the world is to sit back and do nothing and then wonder how you arrived in that situation. You can only make a difference by making an effort. Infamous historical figure in the 1920s once said, "If you take away people's rights a little at a time." Oh, it went off. But yeah, basically, he's agreeing with you. It's a downward spiral.
Let's just stand up. You know, it takes 10 minutes. Let's sit in front of that MP, and just because you're not a maths genius, or just because whatever, it doesn't mean your opinion is not important.
Absolutely.
That's what we're saying.
Any questions, guys?
If you want me sitting on your meeting or one of my colleagues and give them a really hard time, we'd love to help.
Absolutely. Claire John, a good friend, has said, it's an amazing industry with so many opportunities, one of the happiest professions to be in, and I couldn't agree more.
Very true. Very true.
Could not agree more. But I think if it's all right with you, mate, I know we've only just met through this industry's Save Our Salons campaign, but I would like to meet with you further in future and maybe get you back on and help get rid of that stigma of the VAT and how we can help salons get over that and be successful, if that's all right with you.
Yeah, it's also the big things about discounting particularly is a real pet hate, and I'd love to show people what a 50% off for new customers does to their business, or a 25% color sale does to their business. It kills you. You make a tiny margin. Tell me truthfully, ask yourself this question. Okay. After you've paid yourself and paid for everything else, how much money have you got in the bank? And you'll look at it and you'll go, my God, there's a tiny percentage left. And that's what you call net profit. And any discounting smashes that to bits. And actually the bottom line is, invariably the salon owner is putting more money in the till than they're taking out, and that's crazy. You're taking all the risk, all of the things that are going on, and you're actually cutting hair, doing those things, putting loads of money in the till, and you might take a little bit of it out. And at the end of the day, if there's not enough money to put I like that one, but don't discount add value. If there's not enough money in the bank, you don't pay yourself, and that's insane.
I did that for years.
Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah. So all of us have been there and done it and gone, what's going on?
Yeah.
Let's empower everybody in the business to respect themselves, respect whatever, hold that price.
Yeah.
Don't go, I've only done this today. Or decide the person can afford, because you add so much to people's lives, and you need to just know that. And I'd love to. That's part of the mission, really, as much as anything. My first most important thing: put more money in the till. Stand up for yourself. Write to your MP. Please get behind it. Please fill in the survey. Please hashtag it. And then we're going to go round and round and round again. And then we're starting to see results already. We're starting to see very serious MPs, people who you'd have heard of in the news, sitting down and listening to us. And you have every right to do this as a constituent. So, yeah.
I love that, mate. I really do love that. Nigel, can you just read a couple out before we leave it? Because the numbers are still high watching, so obviously people are interested still. In your career, when you chase the money, you're in trouble. When you chase your career, the money will chase you. Now, my granddad was my best mate, and he used to preach this to me. However, I found that really difficult to transition from what I'm loving now I should be paid for, and I found it really difficult to ask for that and know my worth, and that is something that we could go into another day, because honestly,
what I would say there is that very often the thing you're best at you value the least, because you find it easy to do what you do. It's hard for you to place a value on it. And I think the thing with hairdressers or hairdressing is we're all really in this to make people feel great. And if we charge them more, we fear that they're not gonna feel good about us and what we do for them, and you don't think it's fair. And that's one of the things I've recognized here. I can't remember the last time an accountant who charges by the hour, and that's another thing that we do as a business, but that's a total aside. The last time an accountant said I'm not worth it, or a lawyer said they're not worth it, or anyone else who charges for their time, which is what you're doing, said they're not worth it, because you are.
It's a great one. Good question here, by the way. Sorry. Where do we get the surveys from, which we'll explain again in a minute? And does she need a printer?
Ideally, yes, you need a printer, but you don't really need it if you're going to download it, make a copy, and email. So at the very least, we want you to email. We'd love you to send a letter, so you will need a printer for that. But in terms of the survey, it's just 0.6. There's a link to it, and there's a little red button at the bottom that says complete our survey or register your details. See that?
Yep, that's the one. It's register your details there. Number one is fine. For those who didn't see it, it's saveoursalons.co.uk at the top.
How many people are on the site right now? There you go. That's a bit of an interest. See if it's had a peek.
And then we'll say take action now. Click on there. Takes you straight down to the bottom. 6 simple steps. Now, if you're a hairdresser that's like me, that as Toby has found out today, is very last minute, just does stuff as and when he needs to do it, then it is the simplest website for people like us. You literally click, download, find your MP, click on there, type in the location, which is mine is Burnley. Simple as that. Press search, and it comes up straight away with who my.
There's no one from Burnley on right now. Well, there might be actually. Oh, yes, there is. There's one. It's you.
So it's as simple as that, guys. Any questions before we let Toby go? The numbers are still high, but I'll read out a couple more comments. Please show and share again. We've just done that. Sorry. Here we go. I put my prices up after the first lockdown and no one questioned it. They just seemed happy to see us again.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you what's going to happen after this lockdown. And this is the one thing I'd really encourage you to do. It's not to do with VAT again, but in August, let's be fair, everyone had their hair done, and then suddenly you didn't have any business, or it was a lot quieter. But then people started to discount. There are no more customers out there, so don't discount. Charge the right amount for less people. Yep. Because as soon as you start discounting, you're in a spiral downwards where you're putting yourself in a massive hole. Please don't discount. Please keep your prices. I saw something that Sophia did the other day about valuing yourselves or putting your prices up. You know, everyone's got to run their business in the way they want, but the reason you're hyper busy is because people really value you and they value what you do. So, you know, look after yourselves. That's what I'm saying. And when it does come to the quiet spell, take a holiday maybe, or get everyone to take holidays, you know, because just have that business you've got at the same price. And that's a really important part of this. If we do win this campaign, don't discount your price, because this is you paying back what you need to do. If you borrow 100 grand, right, to get yourself through this period, and you earn, I don't know, when you look at it, if you earn 1% on £500,000 turnover, that's a big number. I understand that. You'd maybe making £5 grand a year. It'd take you 20 years to pay that off. 20 years. So let's start to really think about what's still left in the till and what we've borrowed and where they are and how paying that off. And then we understand how long we've got to work for. And again, as you said, we can do some other stuff around, growing your business and things like that, maybe at another point, but only if you all sign up and write a letter tonight.
Well, a lot of people writing done. If you press done, can you just press share on this stream as well? Because obviously it's educating people on how to
Amazing,
do it.
amazing. Done, and then fill the thing. It just shows you can do it in a really short space of time. It's amazing. Brilliant. Thank you very much for everyone that's done it. But yeah, fill that survey in, put your local constituency in, and that will make a big difference for us.
Yeah, share the video, share the hashtags, tell us that you've done it, share pictures of yourself doing it with your print off, and tag your MPs in it. Mine's on Facebook. So yeah, tag your MPs in it, tag them on Twitter.
Good idea. Oh, that's a new one. Hold on. That's good. Yeah, I like that. Right. That's going on there.
Anyone does it, tag Hair Socials, tag your thing, I'll share it, the MP will share it, Toby will share it.
Shameless promotion, I like it.
We're going to do it, we're going to take over. But yeah, thank you so much for your time, Toby, because the numbers are still fluctuating. I must admit, they're quite interested in this. So if you want to watch it back later, it's on YouTube, Facebook, and I will actually, if I can... Oh no, it's too long for Instagram, I'm afraid. But yeah, thanks very much, mate.
I don't know where I can get a haircut, that's the problem.
Yeah, we need a partner, mate, that can cut hair.
Yes, very true.
That would help. Right then, mate. Thank you so much. I will end the live for you.
No problem.